Yes, children. So about vitamin D we have covered. Now we'll move to vitamin E. So vitamin E deficiencies causes sterility, that is that reproduction effects in the human beings. So this can be the supplementation of the foods like green leafy vegetables, milk, butter and whole cereals should be taken to improvise this ability in human beings. Next, moving to the vitamin K. So vitamin K deficiency causes hemorrhage. Hemorrhages normally include the blood clotting levels. That is, normally there will be no blood clotting if there is a vitamin K deficiency. So it can be improvised through the food sources like green leafy vegetables, soya beans, tomatoes and soybean oils, and can be included in our diet to improvise this vitamin K levels in our body. So mostly due to the vitamin K deficiency, children, so excessive bleeding from the wounds occurs whenever the accidents or any accidentally if you happen to occur a wound to your body, then the wounds from the wounds the bleeding continuously flows out and it leads to the decrease in the amount of the blood levels in your body, which even leads to the death also. So it should be corrected through the food sources like green leafy vegetables, mostly including the green leafy vegetables and foods like the tomatoes, soya beans and all the vitamin A, that is the vitamin A levels are to be increased, iron, minerals, iron also should be included. So we'll move to the minerals so that you can easily understand about this also. Okay, so through these vitamins sources, we can improvise the vitamins in our body and we can protect our body from various deficiency diseases. So the worn out tissues can also be repaired through these vitamins in our body. So we should include these vitamins through our diet in itself. That you have to understand, children. So mainly we get vitamins through the foods, that is plants and animals also. You all understood? Hope you have understood about the vitamins. Now I move to the minerals and their deficiency diseases and what are the sources that we get the minerals through the foods and we eat. Okay, write down notes. So up to now, children, you have seen about the vitamins as they are the sources that we get from plants and animals, and they are the organic elements that we get, that is they are the organic matter that we get from the plants and animals, and they act as the protective foods, isn't it? If we include the vitamins in our diet, they protect us from various deficiency diseases and hence they are called as protective foods. The food that contains most of these vitamins are called as protective foods. So we move to the minerals. So the minerals are the inorganic materials or the substances that we get from the plants, as the plants take the minerals from the soil. They are not directly obtained from the plants, but in fact these are the organic substances which are absorbed by the plants from the soil. Okay, children. So these minerals we get through the foods. If they are deficient, what happens to us? So the deficiency of these minerals causes so many diseases. So these minerals are also helpful for proper functioning of our body and also help us as energy giving foods also, and also to maintain our health in a proper manner. So these minerals so different minerals that we use in our food are, see here children, iron, iodine, calcium and others, phosphorus, potassium, sodium are also included in our diet. So calcium, iron, iodine, calcium, sodium, potassium. So these are the minerals that we include in our diet. So what are their sources? These sources of these minerals and their deficiency diseases we will see now. So vitamin iron deficiency. Iron sources of iron in our food are green leafy vegetables, whole cereals, that is legumes, and also legumes, the pulses or the lentils that we use. They also contain the iron contains jaggery. Mostly the jaggery contains the iron, drumsticks, leafy vegetables, liver, egg yolk, apples, or the supplements of the iron in our body through these foods. So egg yolk or the groundnuts also contain the iron content. Next, if the deficiency of the iron is there in our body, then it leads to the anemia. As I told you earlier, it leads to the decrease in the blood level, hemoglobin level in our body, which leads to the anemia. The person becomes anemic and weak, and loss of appetite takes place, and energy levels also decreases, so he cannot do any work also. So iron levels to be maintained in every individual, especially in the pregnant women, and suffer from this anemic, and the children who are poorly they are supplemented with the poor diet will also suffer from the iron deficiency diseases, and they will be anemic. And coming to the iodine levels, so the sources of iodine are supplied through the food through the iodized salt. The salt contains mostly the iodine. We know that the iodized salt is being used mostly by us through the seafoods like fish and all. Prawns, fish also contain the iodine in them. Green leafy vegetables also increase the iodine content in our body. The deficiency of iodine leads to goiter. Is it clear, children? So now we'll see what is this anemia. I have already said that the anemia is due to it leads to weakness or fatigue in our body. Fatigue means okay, so you cannot do the work completely, and it leads to the weakness, and the blood iron levels they are decreased in our body. Energy levels also get decreased, so loss of weight occurs in our body, and paleness or loss of appetite, the paleness of eyes and loss of appetite takes place. Okay, now, so that is about the iron deficiency. Coming to the iodine deficiency, it leads to goiter. So you know the food supplementation of iodine is through the iodized salt or the seafoods. Improvise the supplementation of the iodine in our body. And this iodine deficiency causes the abnormality or the enlargement of the thyroid gland, and retarded growth takes place, and mental disability also takes place due to goiter. So abnormality in the thyroid gland, and retardation of the growth. Growth will not be proper to the persons who are not having sufficient iodine levels in their body. Retardation of the growth levels, thyroid gland not proper functioning of the thyroid gland. So it leads to the abnormal enlargement of the thyroid gland takes place in the deficiency of the iodine. Okay, children, next coming to the calcium. Calcium, the supplementation of calcium through food is in milk, cheese, eggs, greens, that is green leafy vegetables, whole grains and meat. So these are the supplementations of the calcium levels in our body through the vegetables that we take in, and also the meat and eggs also supplement, meat, milk and eggs also supplement the calcium levels too. So if there is deficiency of calcium in our body, it leads to the bone and teeth decay. Your tooth will be decayed. So the wounds or the decayness that occurs in the teeth takes place, and it will be strong teeth. There are the deficiency of calcium in our body, it leads to the weakened teeth also. So the gums will be loosened, and it falls soon. Okay, so the bones, the strength of the bones to be increased with the increasing levels of the calcium in our body. And also the phosphorus. Phosphorus is also very essential, and it can be required through the milk, cheese, green leafy vegetables and bajra also. Implementation of bajra nuts in your diet can increase the phosphorus levels in your diet. Ragi, bajra, liver. So if you include them in your diet along with these, phosphorus levels can be increased. If there are no phosphorus levels in our body, sufficient phosphorus in our body, it leads to rickets in children. Okay, write down this. I'll give you the notes of phosphorus, potassium and sodium too. Note down. Yes, children. So about the minerals, you have already seen about iron, iodine, calcium. So iron deficiency leads to anemia, iodine deficiency leads to goiter, and calcium deficiency leads to the bones, that is the weakness in the bones. Mainly the bone decay and the tooth decay takes place due to the calcium deficiency. Now we will see about the deficiency of phosphorus and what are the sources of phosphorus through the food. Yes, phosphorus. The sources are milk, cheese, green leafy vegetables, bajra, nuts, liver and ragi. So these are the vegetables and the food sources that supplements the phosphorus content for our body. If there is deficiency of phosphorus, it leads to the rickets in children. As I told you earlier, in vitamin deficiencies, vitamin D deficiency leads to rickets in children and osteoporosis in adults, isn't it? So we normally get these supplementations of these foods will be supplied through the vitamin D can be supplemented through these foods. So as the same case, phosphorus mineral is also can be supplemented through these foods, so that you should include your diet with these food items to increase your D vitamin and also the phosphorus levels in your body. So this, if you see the calcium also, the calcium levels also can be increased through these foods in itself. So calcium and phosphorus levels can be increased through these foods to avoid the rickets in children and osteoporosis in adults, so that the bones and the teeth will be strong, bones in your body and also the teeth will be strong. Okay children, next we move to the sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium contents are mostly present in the salt. Salt is mainly contains the sodium, as it contains sodium chlorides, and fish, meat, all seafoods contain the sodium, and the potassium levels are present in yogurt, oranges, potatoes and all the vegetables or the foodstuffs contain the potassium levels. So all the foods also can be included for this. And potassium, the sodium mainly contains in seafoods, milk, meat and eggs. So animal foods can be supplemented with the sodium levels and the potassium levels. So you should include these in order to maintain the body and muscles properly. So if they are not included, so our weakness of the body and the muscles takes place, and also it will result in the paralysis attack. So in order to avoid this, we have to include, in all together we can say that we have to include all the foodstuffs without leaving anything. We should not say no to any of the foodstuffs. All are important. All the vegetables and fruits should be included in the diet according to their proportionate levels to maintain our balanced diet, so that we may not suffer from any of the deficiency disease. So all the nutrients along with carbohydrates, proteins, little fat, vitamins and minerals should be included in our diet to maintain our health in a proper levels without any diseases. Okay children, and also along with these vitamins and minerals, we should also include the water and fiber also in our diet. What is the importance of water in our diet, we'll see now. Note down this. See children, here importance of water to our body. That is, how is water useful to our body? As you know well that our body consists of nearly 70% of water. It is filled with water in itself. So water is also a food. It helps to move the food through the food pipe, helps in digestion and also for the excretion of the food material from our body. So waste material, that is not the food material, that is a waste material from our body. We can see that water helps the food to move easily through the food pipe or through the esophagus. It can easily move through the food pipe, first point. And second point is it helps in digestion of the food. Later, the digested food, it helps the digested food to move through the blood and reach all the body through the and help the nutrients to reach the body cells. So it is the function of the water in itself. And also the waste material that is produced after the absorption of the food through into the blood, it is helps for the excretion of the waste out of the body and helps for the free bowel movement. So in fact, the water also regulates the body temperature. So it regulates the body temperature too. You can say body temperature makes the nutrients to reach the cells. So it helps, it carries the waste in urine and transports the nutrients to the cell. Carries the waste. So it carries the waste in urine. In the form of urine it comes out and it sends the nutrients to the cells. It carries the nutrients to the cells of the body. So it regulates the water, helps in all these processes. It helps to move the food easily through the food pipe, first point. Next, helps in digestion, regulates the bowel movement, regulates the body temperature often. So water in itself, we have to bring sufficient levels of water in our body that is required for our body. Okay children, in the next class, we'll take up about the fiber and importance of fiber in